This week goes from bad to worse, guys. Van Dijk is considering strongly a move to PSG, and they're willing to offer him the contract that Fenway Sports Group and Liverpool Football Club aren't willing to offer him. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Yay! What a week. What a week. PSG eliminate us at Anfield. We lose the Carabao Cup final, and a day later, Virgil van Dijk is headed to PSG, according to Sam Maguire. Guys, this is amazing. And guys, before the top reds swarm my video, let's just get this out of the way. I've never been to Anfield. I have never coached a football club, and I've never owned a football club. And yes, I've been supporting Liverpool for 20 years. I can mention players like Samed Yassel and Adam Morgan, and players from the really bad era of Liverpool like Konchesky and others. Yes, I watched it. I saw us play Napoli in the Europa League on a Thursday night. I saw the bad times. I know that we were really bad. Under Roy Hodgson, Maxi Rodriguez scored the winner away at Bolton with a Torres assist to get us out of the danger zone. I remember the bad times. That doesn't mean because of all those things I can't give my honest opinion on an ownership group who lacks ambition completely and does not care about winning, and all they care about is putting money in their pockets. So let's just address this straight up. Virgil van Dijk has publicly come out and said he loves the club and he wants to stay. He is the best centre back in the world, and if you don't believe he's the best centre back, minimum he's top 3. Whatever we're going to pay Virgil van Dijk in wages for the next 2 years, if we offer him a 2-year contract, will be a lot less expensive than actually signing a Van Dijk replacement. Because you want to know something? A Van Dijk replacement is practically impossible. Bastoni is not going to move out of Italy. It's been reported for the last 3 years. Saliba is not going to move from Arsenal to Liverpool. We're not going to go to Real Madrid and sign Rudiger. Jarrell Hato definitely can't replace, Virgil van Dijk. Kwanzaa can't. There is no Virgil van Dijk replacement, but here we are, you guys. But remember, Husam hasn't been to Anfield. Husam is just negative about the club. Total BS. People who watch my content consistently will tell you I was actually really positive for 90%, 95% of the season and haven't really had anything negative to say. But when the captain that is about to lift our 20th Premier League title, who's the best centre-back on earth, is not getting a contract, I have every single right to call out the football club. And I will call out the football club because this is absolutely unacceptable. Guys, Newton's number is 9.81 newtons. The law of gravity. Weight equal your mass multiplied by 9.81 newtons. On the moon, it's not 9.81 newtons because even laws of physics have exceptions. Every law on this planet has an exception. It's the exception to the rule. I don't care if FSG don't give contracts to players in their 30s because this is clearly the exception to the rule. Other than Pickford scissor kicking the guy, he's always been fit like 95% of the time. He has an unbelievable injury record. He's been available for most of the games. He is the best center back on earth, and he's only 33, 32, whatever. So given the way that sports science now is, given the way that footballers now act in terms of their diet, in terms of their lifestyles, why shouldn't we be giving him a contract? And even if you do want to get a Van Dijk replacement, the smart thing to do is to get the Van Dijk replacement while Van Dijk is here, so he could learn off of Van Dijk. You know who did that smartly? The team that has dominated England for the last 10 years. They got the Fernandinho replacement, Rodri, while Fernandinho was here, and Rodri turned out to be even better than Fernandinho. But guess what? He learned off of Fernandinho, and you can see him implement certain things that Fernandinho used to do for Manchester City. But what are we doing right now? What are we actually doing? And by the way, everything I just said verbatim applies to Mohamed Salah, the best player on earth. Verbatim, it applies for him. Literally the same exact thing. He also loves the club. He also wants to stay. He should also be made an exception to the rule. Guys, if Salah is 50% of what he's currently at, he's still better than all our wingers. If Virgil van Dijk is 70%, 75% of where he's at right now, he's still a top 5 centre-back in the planet. I'm willing to live with the consequences of Virgil van Dijk signing an extension and maybe towards the end of his 2nd year or in his 3rd year falling off a little bit, because I know for the next 2 years, you're not going to get a centre-back as good as him. And here we are. We meet again. A week from hell. Virgil van Dijk being linked to a move to PSG. I'm going to say this right now. Guys, enjoy The Last Dance. If Virgil van Dijk and Mo leave this football club, enjoy the last dance, because we will not be back here next season talking about winning Premier Leagues. It's going to be a top 4 race. Virgil van Dijk, absolute colossus, man machine at the back. Salah, his output speaks for itself, but here we are. Here we are. But of course, I'm going to get the usual responses. That's why I did the 8 mile at the start of the video. I already know. You've never been to Anfield. You've never seen the bad times. Well, I get it, man. It's the same stuff over and over again. Instead of actually having an objective, constructive response to what I'm saying, you decide to attack me personally. But that's fine because I'm used to it. I've lived this. I've lived this for the last 4 years of making content. People don't actually respond to what you say. They just hate the messenger. And I see this all the time on Twitter. When people post my clips, they go like, oh, I actually hate Husam, but there is this that he said that I agree with. Yeah, but if you watch my content, you realize that you shouldn't go off of no context fan TV clips because it says it in the name, no context fan TV. If you watch the content, you know I'm actually positive about my club for the most part, and I only call out the stuff that deserves to get called out, and this is one of them things. And if we don't give Virgil van Dijk a contract, and if we don't give Mohamed Salah a contract, then this summer, I don't even know where are we going to get started, because we need a left back, and we need a centre back, and we need a striker, and we need a winger, and we need a midfielder, and now we need a Van Dijk replacement, and now we need a Salah replacement if he also goes. So this summer window is not even a rebuild anymore. This is a build. This is like starting from scratch. This is not even a rebuild at this stage. And to be honest with you, the fact that we're letting it get to 18th of March without both of them, specifically Virgil and Mo, signing contract extensions is an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute piss take. And if you're a Liverpool fan, you should be demanding these owners leave the football club because they have no ambition. If we had the Newcastle owners or the City owners, or the PSG owners, Virgil would have had a contract. Because even from a financial perspective, because as you guys know, before you become a Liverpool fan, you must have an accountancy degree. Because we're the only fans in the world that are expected to know accountancy reports and financial reports and talk about PSR. Like we're the only club affected by PSR, just like we were the only club affected by COVID, just like we were the only club affected by FFP. The excuses keep coming. What's your excuse with Virgil van Dijk? He's our captain. He's come out publicly and said, I want to stay at Liverpool Football Club. He loves the club. He's the literal captain of the Premier League winning side. So what's the issue here? Are you also going to be FSG out, or are you going to say the same stuff? Oh, they saved us 10 years ago. No, they didn't. They simply made a business financial decision. If any of us had 300 million in the year 2012, we would also bought Liverpool Football Club 2011, 2012, because it's a great financial decision to make, because Liverpool were a sleeping giant waiting to be, woken up. And here we are. And just as a bit of homework for you guys in the chat, Boston Red Sox, Mookie Betts. I just want you guys to go do your research. They let that Boston Red Sox team, as they were aging, they let them all go, and they haven't won a World Series since then. So this could be Liverpool Football Club right now. Baseball example in football terms. Mookie Betts went on to an LA baseball club, I believe, and he won like 2 titles in 4 years. So yay, guys. Well done, Fenway Sports Group. Well done, Richard Hughes. Well done, Michael Edwards. Fantastic job letting our captain, the best centre-back on the planet, not have a contract in March 18th. Disgrace. Disgrace.